Today, it's Madden NFL football. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns taking on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, a steady rain has been falling here, but it has not dampened the spirits of the hardy folks at Huntington Bank Field here in Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like
Evan
this.
McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Cleveland. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
They always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. Now it's Watson. Into the hands of Cedric Tillman. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Now a first down throw, Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
From the 31, here's 2nd and 6. And Chubb will try the middle here. Two yards still to go. Third down now. Here's Watson. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now Watson. And Watson has enough for the first down yardage as he slides to the turf. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. Chubb will get the call running left. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off of play action, it's Watson. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Second down, 8 to go from the 28. They'll try the air now with Watson. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
This is 2nd and 8. Watson completes the pass to Judy on the crossing pattern. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Chubb will score. Touchdown, Cleveland. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Hopkins on now to add the extra point. we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. And sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. He did a fine job there not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Burrow will throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Burrow. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's a tough spot for a running back coming out of the backfield because he's got to look for the football, knowing full well he's got a man coming his way, full steam, and he broke that one up.
Here we go. 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 10-10.
Burrow looking to pass. Now a short one to Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline and they don't get the yards after the catch.
And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Back deep, James Prochet.
They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Throwing again is Watson.
Open man, that's Tillman.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
This now a 3rd and 4.
Watson now to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To the air yet again, Watson.
This is the tight end, Njoku.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 38-yard line. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 38. Again, it's Watson. He shakes him off. And shutting him off, now open field. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Watson on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ford. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
On first down, Watson. He finds his man complete. It's Ford. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
2 yards left on second down from the 9. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw is Watson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. There for the sack, B.J. Hill.
It's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Play action. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Burrow. This one complete to Yoshibas. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On second down, Burrow.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To the air again, Burrow. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it.
Open man is Yoshivas.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
3rd and 2, now Burrow.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special, because coverage was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. This is Brown going up the middle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out on the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And that is incomplete.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away.
And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter.
10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports.
On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. But we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7. Here's Watson, option left. Oh, fighting off the defender. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards that time and a 1st down on the keeper. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 11 more yards that go around. A 1st down as well.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And again, it's Chubb. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Second and 10.
Back to throw, Watson.
And that's going to be caught. It's James Prochet.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Here's Watson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 25-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the 1st down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They go up the middle with Chubb. Oh, able to avoid him. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
I would say that's what you call a whole lot for a little, huh?
When you bust that move out of the bag, you hope for more than 4 yards, but hey, 4 is what he got. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Back to throw. Watson. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Watson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. Touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They defer to Brown to start the drive. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. That's on the guard, Alex Kappa. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. Second and 16. Now it's Burrow. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
This offense so far on third down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Here's Ryan Rico now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and that will come the offense as they take over. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10
at their own 42.
They will start this drive with Ford.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Ford. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That goes for a gain of 31.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down
to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson looks to throw again.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, it looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash.
Hopkins' kick is good,
and that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Pushing his way through.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Ready to go on offense. Out come the Bengals. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. Fighting him off to about the 40-yard line.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Now back to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. Ready?
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
2nd down and 8.
Now it's Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
This is Ford.
And he's going to have a Browns 1st down as the tackle made here at the 36.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Complete on the quick throw to Moore. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 50, it's Watson. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end.
From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On 1st down, it's Watson.
Pass caught. He's got Tillman.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet, as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Watson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he's been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
Watson off play action. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 2 now. 2nd and goal. Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Elijah Moore.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Browns are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half.
On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it was finished off by Elijah Moore on the touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengals drive about to get going. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Burrow. Throwing right, and that's complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Again, it's Burrow.
He'll look underneath and finds Brown.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Burrow looking to pass. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Burrow will throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Driving for the goal line, but he's marked down short. And with no timeouts, no chance to get the field goal unit out there. And frustration going to set in, as that is going to be how this first half will come to a close.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. The Browns were given a solid performance in that first half from their quarterback, Deshaun Watson. He had a touchdown both in the air and on the ground to help push his guys into the lead at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Logan Wilson. And he'll be brought down around the 7-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. At issue here, does the football make contact with the ground before he secured it? And I think some of these angles are going to give us a pretty good look.
Secured is the important part because the ball can touch the ground, but it can't be loose when it does. So that's what they're going to have to try and figure out.
After review of the play,
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. An inside give, Brown. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
Brown once more. And this time he'll run into a wall right at the 4-yard line.
It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
Andre Yoshibas
from 4 yards out.
And the Bengals take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed.
Zach Taylor's made the decision. They'll go for 2 here. And Burrow's going to look to throw for it.
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession.
The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in 1 play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul. But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. A give. This is Chubb. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's 3rd and 7.
From the gun, here's Watson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. B.J. Hill picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
He's certainly one of those quarterbacks that can burn you with his mobility, but that time able to hem him in and get him to the ground.
Perfect descriptor right there about how they kept him in the pocket. Excellent job of containment, but they were still able to continue to bring such strong pressure without letting him escape. But how about those guys in the secondary as well? Kept the coverage tight, plastered to the receivers, and left no real options for him to throw it downfield.
The Browns send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now Burrow on 1st down. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Here's Burrow. Man open left side is Brown. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Looking deep here for Chase.
And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Brown.
Brought down at the 20. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
From the 20, here's the 2nd and 8.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
They'll run on 3rd down with Brown. And he picks up the 1st as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They go right back to the ground here, and Brown. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with second down coming up.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll set up a throw.
Now Burrow loses the football.
And this is Pitt. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Watson, quick slant, caught by Moore. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Here's Watson, option left, and he works free. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one, 11 yards in the first down.
But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Back to throw, Watson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore.
And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Ford is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far. That's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Bengals offense getting set and ready to go again here. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow.
Hit as he throws. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
I know it's a phrase that sounds really cool, strip sack, but all we're talking about is getting to the guy, getting to the passer, making the tackle, making the play, but do a little bit extra, right? Stripping the ball out, working the arm free. That's become a big emphasis for all defenders.
Yeah, as a defender with the emphasis, this is something that's practiced.
Practiced all the time. Taking the ball away, creating turnovers, that's really job one for any defense, because that's how you win in today's NFL.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and, of course, a special player.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 21.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 4.
They'll look to throw.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Well, still in the 3rd quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. make sure it's a good one, and close it out.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. That's to his tight end all. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Here we go. 58, Mike, 42.
They'll fake the jet sweep and go play action with Burrow. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. From the gun, a give to Brown.
And he gets it down to the 32.
45 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. This will be caught by Brown. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Burrow's throw into the hands of Sample. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains, because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Here we go. Here we go. 180.
Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Second and 6. Right back to Brown. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal.
This will be spotted at the 20, so it's a 30-yard attempt.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing this second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game, because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it to 26. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. He'll throw from the gun.
And his throw is incomplete.
Elijah Moore, the intended receiver.
And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Up the middle, it's Chubb. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And again, it's Chubb. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. And a tackle there by Jermaine Pratt. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. And Chubb will try the middle here. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Watson now to throw. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They'll run for it. Chubb.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. A lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
They go with Chubb on second down. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skills showing the power, but just not much room to operate.
114 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
From the gun on third, Watson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Deshaun Watson, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Browns have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. Now back to throw.
Out of his hands quickly to Higgins.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow finding room at midfield and finally brought down at the 43. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow.
This one caught downfield by Higgins.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
T. Higgins, 43 yards. And the Bengals get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now Nick Chubb of the Browns gets set for their next possession.
He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line.
He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 7, operating from the 34.
They run it again with Chubb.
And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Browns on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
The handoff to Ford up the middle.
And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
3 yards to go on 2nd down, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. Jumbo set.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44-yard line, here's a second down and 6. A give. This is Chubb. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That one, a first down pickup of 8. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. Good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. On second down, here's the option. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's Logan Wilson there to bring him down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll try the air now with Watson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it. And he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
From the 3 now, here they come on 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
For as good as Nick Chubb is in the open field, he's every bit as good when they line him up down near the goal line. He's a speed back between the 20s, but a power back down close, and he forces his way into the end zone.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
First down. Here's Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll drop to throw.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
This taken in right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
After the pick six, here's Burrow again.
Buying time to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
After the costly interception late, good job by him to keep it himself that time. Just tuck it, run it, and scramble for the marker. Don't give the coverage another chance at taking it away from you.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 2nd down, Burrow. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Gotta go score. Let's go.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.